initiative.
Welcome back
Cody
to the next video where today we're going to be doing I wanted to do the 2 marker challenge. However, I don't think I am ready for that in the slightest. So we are going to do a 4 marker challenge where I am going to pick a next set of markers. Not entirely reliable, they're not even brush markers, but I feel like they're going to offer up a little bit more than the markers that I used yesterday. And we're going to play around with the rules of this marker just a little bit. So we have our markers here, and I have to find a way to choose 4 markers without seeing what I'm choosing and just use those 4 colors. So one way I can do this is getting the bag again and shaking it up, but of course you don't know for real if I'm seeing in the bag or not, so I realized that was going to be an issue. So I've got a different, well, not so different, but I'll get the bag still. So we've got a plastic bag, and let me just tell you guys, we keep these bags and we use them for a lot of reasons. So markers in the bag, shaking the bag up, the bag's closed, and I'm going to push my hand into the bag and just like play around, because I did not like the colors I got yesterday. So please give me a color I can work with. And our first color is blue. Our first color is a dark blue. Not very excited for that. Now our second color is it's a sort of pink, purple, I can't remember what the color is called, I'm so sorry. Our third color is black. It's not that I am not excited, I just and our last color, let me just take my time before I get this one out, is a light blue. So we have 2 blues, 1 pink, 1 black, and we are going to try to make an illustration out of this. Now I've got this sketchbook here, and just a side note, I really love the pose that I did yesterday, and I love this so much that I came up with a next illustration of her in the forest area. And I'm going to try doing the same with this next one, but not with this 4 color challenge. I'll do it after the challenge, which would more likely be tonight. So let's get to coming up with ideas on what we can use. So using these 4 colors was a little bit of a challenge. However, it was still fun to do, and I'm just so excited that I want to try it again and again and again and again. And I have a bunch of other markers I would love to try this challenge with, so I will try it again and again and again in the future. But well, this is the 4 marker one, and there's also the 3 marker challenge, which I am going to talk a little bit about after I talk about the process of drawing. So the first thing I did was to do a basic sketch of how I want the pose, how I would like the hand to be, where I would like certain body parts to be, how small I would like certain body parts, and where I would like her hands to be, which I probably said before. Anyway, the thing about a hand is that I put it in a pose behind her back, where she just puts one hand in the other hand and she's holding her hands behind her back. The reason why I did this pose, I find that it's a very relaxing pose to be in. I like doing it myself, especially if I'm walking through a forest. That would be really amazing. And one of the things that was on my mind was that I would love for it to be her walking in a forest, just like how I did the redraw of our 3 marker design character. except I used a bunch of other colors and I used paint and not markers. I wish I'd done a video of that because that was pretty neat, and I did that late last night, early this morning, because I couldn't sleep. I was just up all night. Anyway, I'll be pointing out some of my mistakes from my previous videos. For example, the girl, the first drawing I did with it being a all-in-one yellow dress. I love the way the dress looked. The dress was very pretty in my opinion, but I did make some mistakes, and then using the brown as a skin color, something that I've always done was that I mixed too little of a skin color, so then I have an issue where I would just try to extend the skin color, and then me just trying to add water to water down and stuff like that. Instead of having a nice brown color, I'll have a grayish color coming in, and that's just not pretty. So one of the things I need to do is mix more colors. Next, it's that the markers, the watery markers, they bled, and so ears around her eyes while I was putting in the eyelashes. I used it with the marker, and of course it bled like hell, so instead she had to have really thick eyeliner, which is not something I liked. However, with this one, I didn't just put the markers directly to the page. What I did was bled the marker into my mixing palette and used a brush to water it down and apply it onto the painting, onto the character herself, using a pink for her skin, because when I first did the 3 marker challenge, I broke the rule where I mixed paint to paint on her skin, and that was definitely breaking the rule. So when you have the marker challenge, I'm guessing you only the 3 markers you can use, maybe with 1 pen, maybe with 1 pen. 3 markers, 1 pen. So, you can also use your brushes on water to lighten it. I wonder what's going to happen when I do the 1 marker challenge. But I haven't gotten there as yet. I'm not that good as yet. So I'm going to have to stick with what I'm good at for now. I'm still pointing out mistakes from my last detail. I really wished her hand, the hand that was closer to her ear, was opened up, so it would be like she's saying hi to the dragonfly. But instead I have her hand closed. But you know what? It looks like she's about to open it and say hi. She has a bright smile on her face. I noticed I didn't put any eyelashes on, which is really sad because I love putting eyelashes on. But that's a mistake on my end. And she's smiling with teeth. This is one of the first time you actually see one of my characters have a open mouth smile with teeth showing, because something I usually do is just plaster lip on them and leave it as that. I never ever want to show teeth, and that's because I'm afraid of how the teeth would look. But with this cartoon stylized teeth, it's actually looking much easier, much better, and I just love it. Anyway, as you can see here, I did a very easy quick thingy with the skirt and how to paint the skirt, showing that some parts are just outward, some parts are inwards, with the inward part being darker than the outward parts. That just show where light is hitting the skirt more. Same with her shirt. The lower part that is tucked in is much darker than the top part, and her sleeves are much darker. It just shows how the shirt is flowing. And I just love her hair. Like I said, I love this more cartoon styled version of these drawings, and I am going to do much more of them much more often. One of the things here that I'm not sure if it's breaking rule or not, I decided that the bullet nib marker wasn't going to be good in coloring the hair, so I used instead one of the brush tip markers to color it in, but it was still black. And you're going to also see me do something else later on in the video that might also not be so good. Then it came to putting in her eyes, and I was looking at the color. The last time I used just black eyes, whereas I could use the orange and pass it off as a brown. So this time I used the blue, which you can barely see, but she has blue eyes, these dark ocean blue eyes that I just love. And then I just put in her teeth and her tiny little chin, and I just started using the pen to line out where just put in the solid lines. As you can see, there's a mistake on that one side of the shoulder, with one side being more rounded and the other side being more of a triangle side. So I wanted it to be more of a triangle side, so it can just show that it's jutting out. But oh well, I got a rounded side shirt. Not something that I wanted. And her skirt. So something like, when you're in the moment drawing, you don't notice the mistakes, but after you're finished and you're looking back at it, you're thinking, I should have done this better, I should have done that better, this should have done better, that should have done better. I think her legs are too thick or too fat for that body, so the legs are not the right proportion. They needed to be slimmed down a bit. Her skirt is too much on one side, it's too low on one side, whereas the other side is short. That's also a mistake that hopefully in the future I would pick. The next thing too that I hope is not breaking the rule, I used the blue Crayola marker to go over the entire thing in blue, and I'm not sure if that was permitted or not, but I mean, it's the same blue, it's a dark blue. Sorry about that, when I talk too much I start yarning. Anyway, it's the same dark blue, so hopefully it passes and it doesn't serve as an issue. And now my thread is hurting, which is like really odd. Anyway, I figured that just a blue background is going to look so plain and boring, and I wanted to make it look more interesting, because these are drawings that are going to stick with me for quite some time. So I took out the black and just started doing some quick sketch in the circle, also to add a little bit more time onto this video. Anyway, since you guys have gotten so far into the video, hi there, my name is Mischief and welcome to the Mischief Arts channel, where the only mischievous thing we do is stay up late past our bedtimes and talk nonsense until our throat hurts. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If so, you can go ahead and give us a like. Maybe check out our other videos like our 3 marker challenge. Not to mention, I have done paintings of characters such as Styles Stilinski from Teen Wolf, Scott McCall from Teen Wolf, and Derek Hills from Teen Wolf. There is also the Winchester brothers, whose painting is right on my channel. You just have to go look for it. There are playlists such as how I paint faces, where you can maybe learn how to paint faces the way I do, but I still suck at it, so it's up to you. And maybe subscribe to the channel so that you can see more of our drawings whenever we have new ones. And don't forget to turn on notifications so that you can actually be able to do so.